Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and we're back again talking about some more Rippaverse attractors. We're going to be talking about actual fandom, Boulder Boy Man Jarbo, and a little bit of Buster Baxter in this video, as well as a couple other things I'm going to be including that have to do with the Rippaverse, and a little bit of something else extra. It'll be right off the rip, and then we'll get into the attractive stuff. But first, of course, you can always pre-order your Rippaverse Comics hoodie, short boxes, posters, comics, shirts, hats. They'll get in where you fit in. There's going to be apparently a new comic book legend joining the Rippaverse that'll be announced during their stream at 5 p.m. Central this Thursday. So make sure you get in on that live stream over at YoungRipper59 so you can learn more about that. I'm always going to be promoting, of course, Blade Devil 2. I'm just going to do a quick refresh just to see if the campaign went up. Okay, so it's sitting at 95,544 US dollars with 942 backers and 38 days left. Before, of course, to put up the Indiegogo campaign, they managed to finish the book 90 to 95%. And of course, we'll go through it as we always do, showing off some of the artwork here. It looks fantastic. If you're into the anime Bob's a Booty, here you go. Got it all for you. Great story about a knight named Ashiara trying to save her lost sister using her cursed demonic powers. 69 pages of story as well as 2 supplemental stories here. You can get cover A that comes with your Ashiara card. You can get cover, which comes with the Ashiara card. Cover B with Luna, you get your Luna cards. Cover C, which is the not safe for work. Cover B, you get your Knight Ashiara card. I believe this cover might be gone or removed from the campaign. It was only there for a limited time until about fall started, so fall recently started. Let's just see really quick. Yep, it looks like this cover was actually removed, but I did get in on this cover. I got all 4 covers. I can get all the cards, which you would have gotten this barrel shoulder card as your reward, and you get a rain card if you sign up for the pre-launch and back any physical perk, which I absolutely did. You can also get on other goodies like a Luna mouse pad, a Yashiara Blue Moth mouse pad, and if for your waifus, you got your covers, you got your sheets, you got your pillow covers here for Rain, Luna. These are, of course, Flip Side and Ashiara herself. And of course, you get this now with the stretch goal that when the campaign reached 75,000, you get this as a stretch goal. Also, going to get foil covers when they hit 100,000. You can always get the first book as an add-on with this campaign, or if you want to get it sooner, you can go over to Sick Fox Studios Unlimited, get your cover A's. If you don't care too much about condition of the book, you get the book for $10, and you'll get it right away, as confirmed by Baby Chewbacca, who did order a book from this campaign. Shout out to him for letting me know. And of course, just quick thing here, as of recording this video, I just recently found out that David McCallum has passed. Beloved NCIS actor, was 90 years old, played the role of Ducky over NCIS. I really enjoyed this show, and it's a shame to see such a great actor in David McCallum pass away. But now we're going to move on to what we're supposed to be here for, is the Rippaverse Goalpost Twitter account. Starting off strong with cover A and B of Isom 2 are marketed as exclusive covers and only available during the campaign period. Eric is literally selling those again, ruining the value and making them worthless to collectors. You have no understanding of the secondary market. So what these people don't understand is that all he's really doing is selling all the printed covers that were left over from the campaign. He's not printing anymore. He's just going to be selling until the stock completely runs out, and then they will no longer be reprinted. Moving on over to this clip, as I suspected, it was all game. It was all for show. Nothing's really going on between Buster Baxter and Vito, as I expected, but we're going to go through it anyway. We'll go ahead and listen to the clip.
Over. Pitch is over. That's the best you can possibly fucking do.
Like it was great. We gotta sign that show.
Pitch. The whole pitch was you shitting on me. That's not the show.
Confused Buster Baxter face.
Okay, the show is supposed to be a back and forth.
Sounds like you guys have a different view.
Just like, why am I here?
dick. I'm fun and I'm whatever. And here's my fat anime
he's not supposed to say. He's not supposed to say
the
show.
The whole pitch was you shitting on me. That's not the show.
Yeah, as I expected it. I even said it here. I said, in my opinion, it doesn't sound legit to me. It seems to be that it wasn't legit, as Buster Baxter himself quote tweeting this guy right here, saying Buster Baxter and Vito really blowing up the biggest problem in the universe. It's gotten so big that all this back and forth of Isom has benefited in massive engagement numbers for both camps. Though sincere, from a marketing perspective, they have all played their roles expertly. Which was, of course, in response to this clip right here, in which he responds and says, I wish everyone on Earth would read Isom. I doubt it. I mean, you didn't even read Isom. You clearly show that you didn't read Isom because you skipped over. You clearly show the details that were in the book you didn't even know about because you claimed even that someone putting a hand on the shoulder is a bad thing. I'm not going to, I think the word would be assault that you used. That was the word you used, even though it wasn't. And tell me their favorite part, because of course that's an NPC thing, and it just shows you these people aren't really interested in reading the book in themselves and finding out about the book. They just want you to talk about it, so they don't have to what they consider as waste their time buying it or reading it. Because people like Buster Baxter, of course, didn't buy the book. He sailed the high seas and found a copy somewhere. To which Peter responds, "Who knows? At this rate of growth, that might just happen." Imagine if someone made a comic using AI and had it centered around this controversial person, and by controversial in quotes, defeating Isom. This looks terrible, by the way. I like the part where Isom uses the power of Jesus to convert the heathens. I am Isom. Alright, challenge accepted. That's been enough talk about it. Might as well find out. If I could get a copy, I would. Well, you would know you can get a copy by going to Rippaverse.com, but I'm sure you want to, of course, jump in a boat and sail the high seas in order to find said copy of the book. I like the parts where the art is flipped for no effing reason. I get confused in the choreography. It's on the shelf. I'll open it up one day. This is, of course, supposed to be a call on people who bought the book and haven't actually opened it and read it. I read Isom without having to actually read Isom. That's because you didn't read it. And you're trying to sound funny, but you're not very funny. Because I'm a cracker, according to Big Bad July. You probably are. And it's not cracker, it's crackhead. The word you were looking for is crackhead. When no one you asked could answer the question, I knew. Yet you can't even have proper grammar in your sentence. The bit where he flies was great, even though he never flies. Eric July himself has already confirmed that Isom can't fly. My favorite part is the jewelry ad. Yeah, the one where he promoted his wife's business. The one that people complained about. Right? The one that people complained about. That weird, just one ad in a book, even though when you buy a mainstream comic, you get like 20 pages and quite a couple of ads. You probably get 2 or 3 ads. But yeah, let's all complain about that. Of course, we're moving on to actual Fandom and Jarbo, which is supposed to be the main thing of this video. What happens when actual Fandom and Matt Boulder Boy Jarbo get together? They talk about Air July's body hair. Are these weirdos straight? I doubt it. But if they aren't, that's perfectly fine. They're allowed to not be straight. As, you know, let's say they were born gay. So.
Really mad at me over it. And I'm like, I'm not even talking about you. Like, or your arm hair, which is just it.
It's very weird that they're just like talking about a man's body hair. Like, men don't have body hair, apparently.
So we gave him an award on stream one time for the thickest shoulder tufts. You know,
yeah, if only his skin was as thick as his hair, as his back hair, right? You know,
I've said...
Oh yeah, because responding to made up lies about his company and about him as a person makes him somehow thin-skinned. Yeah, okay. Says the guy who was caught mass flagging people, but okay.
I wish I had the self-confidence of a man who will go out in public with a, with a tank top and inch-thick shoulder hair.
Of course, you'll never have that because your body's so full of soy and consumed by soy, and you look like you're just a straight-up beta soy boy even after you put out threats towards viewers, and then try to backtrack and say, "Oh, it's not real." It's not real, guys. Shout out to Great Puppet for exposing that nonsense.
You know, like, I wish I had that fucking self-confidence. I would rule the world.
I believe really mad at...
Yeah, so as Andrew from the Rippaverse would say, no, they're super gay. AF dreams about Eric, says Z3PO. You also got Literature Devil. Jarbo went asked, "You're a lot gear than you used to be." Moving on to Master Havoc. Of course, I might have forgotten to say, do not interact, post, or comment on anything or anyone I showed you in this video. Keep all your comments in the comment section down below. Wait, they're doing Alpha Core? I don't get this logic for Air July. Oh, I don't know. I guess listening to fans and what stories they want to be told and characters they want to learn more about is typically something you don't get the logic of. Isom barely has found his footing. This is embarrassing. You probably didn't even read the book, so yeah, you probably didn't read the book anyway, so who cares? I'm sure Air July is going to fire his employees as soon as they get out of line, when the numbers aren't looking good anymore. So, excuse me. It's usually how a business works. The guy clearly never owned his own. Yeah, because when you typically make a company no money, which seems like the people that work for Air July make him money, why would he get rid of them? Of course, typical Josh Friedmaster always got to put his 2 cents. They know he's never run a business in his entire life. Your thing is comic books, supposedly not unions. Yeah, his company doesn't have a union. His company does not have a union. Again, if you think unions are communism, you obviously don't understand how unions or communism work. But as a libertarian, I'm sure his idea for dealing with strikes is fire everyone and hire all new people. Yeah, his employees are not going to strike because they're getting properly paid a living that they can live on, and they don't have to beg for their money. They don't have to hope that they get paid. They're guaranteed to get paid, considering the business he's running, you dumbass. Good luck finding anyone to work for you with that mentality. Yeah, the mentality of fire people who aren't producing money, who aren't making the company money. Meanwhile, he's paying them a living wage, something that the mainstream industry isn't paying because clearly they have to go on strike to try to negotiate more money, and because they're not getting paid enough money to live on. Well, I'm sure we'll be doing that as soon as any of his Ripper employees get out of line and when the numbers aren't looking good anymore. Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. What can we say? Rippaverse goalpost responding to this person who claims that, Isom, are they being dishonest? Isom is an average comic book. That's your opinion. Massive plot holes. That's your opinion. No continuity and a complete mess of a story. Sounds like an opinion. And then these are, of course, the same talking points. And of course, Eric has already confirmed that no, Isom can't fly. And if you can't figure out Isom's superpowers from reading the book, you clearly didn't read the book. What massive plot holes, right? What massive plot holes? I wish I could find that one tweet that biggest problem the universe put out, because that would be a great tweet. I said to, of course, this person who makes an account called All Crap Comics. They say in the first issue, Eric, of course, because they think it's a self-insert because they're dumb. Isom started an altercation because he felt disrespected, and in the flashback, he quit because he indirectly caused the passing of an innocent person. That was Isom 2, by the way, and that's not why he quit. But apparently that incident didn't humble him, since he now fights people over hurt feelings, which is not the case. And I simply said, so you didn't read the book, because this dumbass thought this happened in the first issue when the flashback for the woman and why he quit was actually in the second issue. It's literally on the front cover that says, find out why Isom quit, on the cover of Isom 2, you absolute moron. But I digress. I actually might be able to pull up that tweet. This is in response to the same thing. Of course, you have this person who's still obsessed with Eric. What's the plot? Read the book. Why does it go from a detective story to fighting demon monkeys? How is he superpowered? What powers does he have? Why does he want to do things? Pretty simple stuff. Yeah, pretty simple, like reading the book, you freaking moron. How about just read the book? That would probably help you in the long run. Yeah, here it is. This was the post. This was a post from the biggest problem in the universe. You probably can't see it. I'm going to have to move this over. So, the biggest problem in the universe, right? You see it right there. That's, of course, the show between Buster Baxter and Vito. Responding to Andrew saying, choose your friends wisely, which was in response to this clip, like I said before. Didn't seem legitimate, so I didn't really cover it too much, but now I'm covering it. This person says, whoops, where Andrew says, all of our Isom 2 covers are fantastic, but only one of them will be available in the shop after tonight. Get in where you fit in. It's trying to somehow say this is a gotcha, right? Which I responded by saying, Whoops, under six-figure selling book, which is of course Vito's book, Super Killer, versus a seven-figure high selling book, which is I posted this saying seven figures, right? Also, Isom number 2, which has been fulfilled. I posted a picture of my cover D with my short box that I did build. I made a video building that. I have a video on my channel of me building the short box. And I said versus Super Killer, a delayed book, which I pointed out this part of the campaign from Super Killer right over here. It says, as mentioned before, we lost a lot of time to managing and marketing an Indiegogo campaign, and our original target launch date of December seems like it would be a hard one to hit. Yes, because you spend all your time, Vito, talking crap about Eric's comic and talking about how he's a terrible businessman and he's terrible at his being a creative and all this stuff. Meanwhile, and you say it's more fun to troll Eric July than it is to finish your book. And this is what ends up happening because you're not focused on doing your own stuff. You're focused on talking a bunch of shit. It's possible we'll hit a stride to make that day, but I am being a bit of a perfectionist on this book, and my demanding revisions may hold us up. I'm viewing that February date I mentioned before as much more realistic. So again, you want to talk a bunch of shit, right? Because that's what you do. You talk a bunch of shit, Vito, and yet you haven't put out a product yet. Go figure. Back to the Rippaverse Gold Post. And Matt Jarbo, an actual fan, fantasize about a civil war between content creators. Matt hopes that a big content creator who Eric July is cool with, quote, tells the truth about Isom, and that would be the start of everyone turning on each other and fans picking sides. Yeah, that's not the case. Considering that Ethan Van Sciver made criticisms about Isom, and they're still friendly, they're still friends, and then Eric July still wants to commission work from Ethan Van Sciver, it should tell you right there that you're an idiot. But let's listen to what Matt Jarbo and actual fandom have to say in the first video.
But it's
here.
I'm just saying, it's like the outsider who's kind of like outside of the sector. Like so one of the things I keep telling people in the commentary community, the ones I still talk to, is I'm like, especially with the whole pronoun thing that Az was doing a few weeks ago, and they're seeing how idiotic these guys are.
No, they're seeing how passionate these guys are about real world ideological nonsense is being put into all of entertainment, which again, you're leaving out the context of where he specifically says at the end that it's literally in everything from movies to comics to TV shows to video games now. And of course you left that part out because you wanna have a narrative that everyone's crazy except you.
I tell them, I'm like, look, you can go after every locale in the world, right? And you can milk that shit till it's dry. But these are a special kind of locale because they were spawned.
You are a special type of locale yourself, considering you got caught lying about false flagging people down. And you hang around people like the Drunken Fats and actual fandom. More lolcows. You hang out with literal lolcows. You want to call other people lolcows, like Az, I guess, but you hang out with literal lolcows.
They will always respond. They don't have it in them to not respond. Because when you challenge their fragile little ego, they have nothing else.
You're the only person here that seems to have fragile ego, and so do all the people you hang out with.
They can do. They have to keep responding. And this is where, like, if you could just redirect those A-logs, right? If you could just
They keep responding and monetizing how stupid you are. Monetizing your stupidity. As we should.
Redirect them to that specific, like, group of people, it would be like an unstoppable, object meets an immovable, or an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, right? And it's just chaos. And they're finally starting to see that a little bit. Like, some of those guys are finally starting to see it. And I'm just waiting for, like, the first salvo to be fired from someone to have the balls enough to call it out. But the downside to that, though, what I think is going to probably stop it from happening, is the fact that a lot of these idiots, both commentary, whatever, they share a lot of the same audience.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the biggest problem. But as soon as that dam breaks...
What's the problem with everyone sharing the same audience? I don't see a problem there. I really don't.
Oh god, the tears will flow, the salt will flow. It's
You know
going
where
to
I'm
be
waiting on a
amazing.
similar situation is between Eric and Ethan, because
Nah, I don't think it's going to happen. If it
yeah,
does, Ethan will be getting ready to push another Cyberfrog thing. But look, I'm just gonna I don't know Ethan.
It's not going to happen between Ethan and Eric July. They respect each other way too much, and they don't care about that petty crap you weirdos try to spread.
Is probably listening. Ethan's a coward. Ethan is an absolute coward. He rolls over and shows his tummy so often, right? Like especially with this whole thing. At first, he was criticizing Isom. Now he's doing a variant cover.
well, I mean,
Like,
Okay, you can have your criticisms about Isom and then make money on a commission for a cover of the comic you criticized. What's the problem? You're allowed to criticize your friend's work, and your friend doesn't have to take their criticisms into account if they don't want to. At the end of the day, they're friends, and he looks at his criticisms like, okay, and you're allowed to have your criticisms, and you're still allowed to work together. That's the weird thing about people like you, Matt Jarbo, is that you believe that because someone's friends with someone, they're not allowed to criticize their work. And then because they criticize their work, they're not allowed to be friends anymore or do commissions for them in Ethan's case. It's such a weird thing that you really believe is a thing. Like y'all are just dumb.
as far as I know, at first he was on board, like, because he actually kind of, from what I understand, taught Eric basically how to be a grifter in this whole sphere. Like, I think
Ethan taught Eric July how to be a grifter. First of all, it's not a grift. I cannot believe I have to keep saying this over and over again for dumbasses like Dane. You are an idiot. Secondly, Eric July has been doing YouTube longer than Ethan Van Sciver has. Eric July has critiqued comic books, movies, etc. for a long time. Probably about 10 years. And talked about comics he's liked. Eric July is very good at marketing, considering his only marketing is word of mouth from people that buy the product. On top of all that, Ethan Van Sciver's cover B for Isom #2 was the highest selling of the 3 or 4 covers that were available at the time of the campaign running, because people seemed to like that cover the most. Even considering that cover C was done by Shane Davis that had a limited run and cost $100, sold about 4,000, and only 5,000 were printed. So based on that metric and everything I just said, how in the world has Ethan Van Sciver taught Eric July how to quote unquote grift when it's not a grift? A grift would insinuate that I did not receive a product that I paid for. I received all the product that I paid for, so again, it's not a grift. You need to get over the fact that you're coping absolutely so much, and you cannot stop what is coming from the Rippaverse. You cannot stop the Rippaverse from being a thing. You cannot stop the Rippaverse from creating books. You cannot stop the Rippaverse from creating enthusiasm about comic books. It is absolutely annoying that even people in my own comment section can't even figure out what the heck you actually like. It seems to me the only thing you like is being a big poser and a liar about other content creators who are more successful than you. And then you hang around people like Boulder Boy, Matt Jarbo, who has been known to false flag people. So again, you hang around crackheads, you hang around liars, you hang around racists, and you hang around other pieces of garbage like Matt Jarbo. So for you to say anything is a grift, your whole YouTube channel is a freaking grift. Because clearly no one can tell what the hell you actually like.
I think that Eric did his thing, you know, kind of inspired by or having learned from Ethan. And
Shut up.
I'm not a fan of that shit, to be honest with you. Like,
but
you know.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. There's like, I think the cracks are starting to show with some of these chuds for sure, especially now that they're desperate.
The cracks are starting to show for some of these. Shut up. Shut up. Says the guy who was trying to go after Chuck Dixon because he made a book for the Rippaverse with a bunch of made up garbage nonsense that no one gives a fuck about.
Because there's no fucking new content to talk about, really.
There's plenty of content to talk about, but you choose to always talk negatively about Eric July. I cannot wait till Thursday when they announce a legend comic writer or artist for the Rippaverse, and you absolutely cry and bawl your eyes out and cope when it happens to be another legendary comic writer or artist that you like, and all we're gonna hear from you is your great salty tears, and I'm gonna be here to cover it all because I love making fun of you and calling out your garbage.
There's really not a lot content to discuss, like in any capacity, and that is the.
Oh, and by the way, the fact that this guy is a millionaire here, I doubt you're a millionaire.
That's the thing I love about this, right? Like, everyone's like, "Oh God, the writers and actors strike is terrible," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, it sucks," but at the same time, we're being able to kind of see this thing play out for what it is.
Yep.
We're kind of being able to see it really kind of go down that pathway, and I think that is going to be for the best, because when we're able to finally see it,
there's Bob. There's Bob coming in with his 2 cents that Eric and Ethan are listening, and so is John Trent, which John Trent's from Bounding into Comics.
It's going to be glorious, because they don't have anything like outside of this, and they know they don't have anything outside of this. So for me personally, I've been
like the stream and sub to become better humans. Yeah, let's sub to a channel. Oh, y'all can do it if y'all want. But yeah, let's sub to a channel apparently that has so much disdain and hate for people being successful outside the mainstream. Yeah, you definitely want to go ahead and be doing that. But like I said, if anybody that's watching him in this live stream wants to sub, go right ahead. Ain't nobody stopping you. You can like whatever kind of content you like.
Waiting for that content drought to hit them, because a couple years ago this happened with the commentary community, like the skeptic community, right? Like the anti-SJW, the group that I was in, okay, like all the other players.
All the commentary people who are anti-woke or anti-SJW, they're still all around. Geeks and Gamers is around, Ryan's around, Nerdrotic, Hilver's Babyface, Critical Drinker, Mauler, etc., etc. All those people are still around. And they've had no problem surviving on content. Plenty of content for them to make.
There was a content drought, and this has a lot to do with the adpocalypse. Months and months after that happened, you know what kicked off? The turning on each other. And then everyone draws lines in the sand, and then you get the division, you get the cracks in the, and then you get the different warring factions, and it just breaks everything apart.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. You want it to happen because you want these people to be as irrelevant as you are, but I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen.
And when that eventually happens, in this case, it's going to be just fucking magnificent.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, hopefully it's entertaining at the very least. But yeah, are you gonna be streaming it or anything tonight, dude?
Yeah. Okay, buddy. To which, of course, Buster Baxter had to make a response to, Rippaverse Go Post putting this out, putting Mad Jarbo rock collected by night, rock collected by day, false flagger by night, accuses others of false flagging. This guy doesn't realize he has zero credibility. To which Buster Baxter responds, Matt apologized for flagging. Eric July hasn't even admitted that he's a false flagger, and his crapbag friends like Yellow Flash Guy defend it. Yeah, because you have no proof that ever happened. We have proof that this guy is a dipshit who false flagged people. Eric July, y'all have no proof that it happened. Y'all have no proof that he did any of that. You continue to accuse him of stuff that you have no idea if he did it or not, which I'm pretty sure he did not. It seemed like a lot of the DMCA stuff was all because of they put multiple pages of Isom 2 illegally, by the way, on Twitter. But they'll never tell you that because Buster Baxter is a complete fool. But I think I've ran well on and ranted long enough for all of you guys and gals. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. And if you're not subscribed, then I see a big percentage of people that watch my videos, probably about between 42 and 50%. Watch my videos and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you feel like I've earned your subscription today, there's a little red button down below. Hit subscribe. If you want to further support the channel, you can always super thanks the video. You can always join the channel for $1 a month. I'd really appreciate it. All the revenue goes back into YouTube. Comment below what you feel about all this. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.